All praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, the earth, the stars, the mountains, the oceans, the valleys, the seas, the clouds, all creeping things, humanity, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Happy, holy Sabbath, family. Once again, we are here at the threshold of transition, where we have our cranial universes exposed and our souls bared forth for the heavenly, holy, cosmic transmission of the holy mission. All praises. And we are here once again in our consensual assembly with our coordinated concern, compassion, and care for the brothers and sisters of the holy nation. Into the 12 tribes scattered abroad, wherever you may sojourn, my continuous petition and prayer for your care and safety, as well as the brothers and sisters of the world who refer to themselves as the melanated Moors, the original man and children of God, the sovereigns and sojourners, the copper-colored, the colored, and people of color, the aboriginals and indigenous, the natives, Negroes, and niggas, the Afro, African-American, and blacks, to the descendants of slaves and those conquered and colonized. Oh yes, and we are blessed, and we are here once again to offer our reverence and honor and glory to the power for the extension of another 7 days of the gift of breath and life. And once again, we come together to sit and be amongst this wonderful congregation as we convene and converge, as we convocate and we sit at the knee of majesty and sip at the wine of the divine words of wisdom. And we shall continue once again. This is the 48th installment, episode, organized event of the Sabbath Wisdom Series, a testimony to our determination and duration and durability and seeking the expansion of our soul salvation and our education and edification of the holy hidden nation. And we shall continue with our review of the wonderful history as it has been revealed and unveiled to us in our actual and true identity as the people of the book. So, without further ado, because we have so much to do, we began this week's escapade into excellence at the Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit channel standards in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Followed by our second heavenly eternal standard in the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8, in reference to the holy anointed Messiah, the wonderful, the anointed, the Savior, the King of Israel, whom the world refers to as Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. And as we prepare to embark upon the expressway of eternity, we strap on our sandals of salvation and we pay due honor to Brother Prophet Isaiah in his 28th chapter of his scroll, verses 9 through 11. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Yes, family, and we are here together, and we embrace in love and stare into the eternal windows of the souls of our brothers and sisters as we assemble to become still and to become quiet and to begin our further review of the history of mystery of the Holy Hidden Nation. And we are continuing with the exploits of Brother Prophet Elisha as we have endured the last great famine that was imposed upon the land of Israel by the Syrian host's captivity. And then the Lord poured forth his miracle whereby the Syrian hosts were spoiled and the people of the land of Israel were able to regain their vassals, vessels, and victuals for the sustenance of the nation. But the kings designate who bared forth to bring forth the proclamation against Elisha died. And we shall continue with the miraculous translations as emanated from the Holy Creator himself through the prophets as we review the set apart history and spirit of the holy nation. And we began in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 8, verses 1 through 15. Then spake Elisha unto the woman, whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise, and go you and your household, and sojourn wheresoever you can sojourn. For the Lord has called for a famine, and it shall also come upon the land 7 years. All right, family. So when Elisha began his prophecies to the nation as the holy man of God, he met a woman whose child became ill and died. And Elisha arose through the petitions and prayers and restored life back to the little one. And he gave the prophecy to the young lady for her and her family to leave before the time of the famine. So now we are resuming the story or the happenings of this lady. Verse 2, And the woman arose and did after the sayings of the man of God, and she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years. And it came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned out of the land of the Philistines, and she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and for her land. And the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray you, all the great things that Elisha has done. And it came to pass, as he was telling the kings how he had restored a dead body to life, that behold, the woman whose son he had restored to life cried to the king for her house and for her land. And Gehazi said, My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son whom Elisha restored to life. And when the king asked the woman, she told him. So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field, since the day that she left the land, even until now. And Elisha came to Damascus, and Ben-hadad the king of Syria was sick. And it was told him, saying, The man of God has come here. And the king said unto Hazael, Take a present into your hand, and go meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall I recover of this disease? So Hazael went to meet him and took a present with him, even of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels' burden, and came and stood before him and said, Thy son Benhadad, king of Syria, has sent me to you, saying, Shall I recover of this disease? And Elisha said unto him, Go, say unto him, You may certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord has showed me that you shall surely die. And he settled his verse 11, and he settled his countenance steadfastly. So his face changed most humbly, family, until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. And Hazael said, Why weep you, my Lord? And he answered, Because I know the evil that you will do unto the children of Israel. Their strongholds will you set on fire, and their young men will you slay with the sword, and will dash their children and rip up their women with child. And Hazael said, But what is thy servant a dog, that he should do this great thing? And Elisha answered, The Lord has showed me that you shall be the king over Syria. So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, What said Elisha to you? And he answered, He told me that you should surely recover. Verse 15. And it came to pass on the morrow, or the next day, family, that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face, so that he died. And Hazael reigned in his stead. Whew. All right, family, that was our dip into the nip of the holy history of the nations, of the kings and the prophets. And in this episode, we were shown a conspiracy and a prophecy and a woe, the destruction coming forth to the children of Israel by a new king, showed to the servant of the king that would be the king. And so we shall continue with the continuing verses of chapter 8 of 2 Kings. Jump, 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 jump. Yes, family. And so as we have donned our armor of salvation and strapped on our sandals for the embarkment on the expressway to eternity, we steady our hips and square our shoulders. We dip our heads for this battle as we head down the hallway of hell through these arrows of afflictions, avarice, and alienation, as we dodge these darts and daggers to our pride, arrogance, and dignities, these jabs and these javelins, these pings, pangs, and punctures, all the way from our pituitary to the pineal, as we get ready to expand and extend and expound and elevate and escalate into the excellence of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40, verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, and an heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb until the day that they return to their mother of all things. Their imagination of things to come and the day of death trouble their thoughts and cause fear of heart. From him that sits on a throne of glory unto him that is humbled in earth and ashes. from him that wears purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with linen frocks. Wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife, and in the time of rest upon his bed, his night's sleep do change his knowledge. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterwards he is in his sleep, as in a day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of battle. When all is safe, he is awake, and marvels that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again, and that which is of the waters does return into the sea. All bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, but true dealing shall endure forever. The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river, and shall vanish with noise, like a great thunder and rain. While he opens his hand, he shall rejoice. So shall transgressors come to nothing. The children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, but are as unclean roots upon a hard rock. The wheat growing upon every water and bank of a river shall be pulled up before all grass. Bountifulness is as a most fruitful garden, and mercifulness endures forever. Verse 18, to labor and to be content with that a man has is a sweet life, but he that finds a treasure is above them both. Children and the building of a city continue a man's name, but a blameless wife is counted above them both. Wine and music rejoice the heart, but the love of wisdom is above them both. The pipe and the psaltery make sweet melody, but a pleasant tongue is above them both. Your eye desires favor and beauty, but more than both, corn while it is green. A friend and companion never meet amiss, but above both is a wife with her husband. Brethren and help are against time of trouble, but alms shall deliver more than them both. And alms is cheerful giving, family. Gold and silver make the foot stand sure, but counsel is esteemed above them both. Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Lord is above them both. There is no want in the fear of the Lord, and it needs not to seek help. The fear of the Lord is a fruitful garden and covers him above all glory. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. The life of him that depends on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he pollutes himself with other man's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth, of the shameless, but in his belly there shall burn a fire. All praises, family. That was 30 spiritual spears hurled directly at your spinal column. Self-explained, case closed, clear as crystal. All praises. And as we have absorbed those spears which protrude through the various openings of the rib cage, we now reach for the salve and the sage of the songs, as we are now tuned to the lyrics of learning the petitions of peace and the holy salvation songs of Holy Prophet Brother King David, the apple of the Lord's eye, as we are in the book of Psalms, chapter 39, verse 1. To the chief musician, even to Jeduthun, a psalm of David. I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with a bridle, while the wicked is before me. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace, even from good, and my sorrow was stirred. My heart was hot within me, while I was musing with the fire be burned. Then spoke I with my tongue, Lord, make me to know my end, and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, you have made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before me. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah. Surely every man walks in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heaps up riches and knows not who shall gather them. And now, Lord, what wait for I? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all of my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. I was dumb. I opened not my mouth, because you did it. Remove my stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of your hand. When you with rebukes do correct men with iniquity, you make his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not your peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with you, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. Verse 13. Oh, spare me, that I may recover strength before I go here and be no more. All praises. And yes, family, I say, no one can pray like Brother Prophet King David. And yes, once again, we become fortified and forged in the fire of the wisdom and the wonderment and the majesty of the holy wisdoms of the word of the holy power creator of all. Happy holy Sabbath, family. This is our day of rest. This is our day of reverence and glory to our God, our power, our strength, our spirit. This is our day of education and edification and elevation to the holy hidden nation. All of those who have been disconnected and discontinued from their true history, heritage, custom, and name. We continue to review and read and grow in the Word and grow our personal lights as we seek our individual soul salvation, while we continue to define and refine our walks on the path of righteousness given to us as an example by the holy anointed Messiah, the King, the Savior of Israel, whom the world refers to as Jesus Christ, who is the Word of the Holy Power Creator made flesh. The same word written on stone and given to brother prophet Moses to present to the congregation, to the nation, the true church, the 12 tribes of Israel, as a holy covenant to observe and to do, so that we may be deemed worthy for entrance into the 12 gates of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Let it be done. So be it. And family, as we reassemble ourselves back into society, as we walk amongst the brethren and sistren who may still dwell in darkness, who may still be injected with the ignorance of this continent of confusion, we shall continue to know and grow and show our glow of righteousness. Happy Holy Sabbath. Until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verses 6 through 9. For we are a holy people unto the Lord our God. The Lord our God has chosen us to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon us, nor choose us because we were more in number than any people, for we were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved us, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has the Lord brought us out with a mighty hand and redeemed us out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord our God, he is God, the faithful God, which keeps covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And to the scattered tribes, Here is your promise of comfort. Book of John, chapter 3, verses 14 through 17, into Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Verse 17, for God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end.